Hi everyone, so today's video is about carbon offsetting. Now this spring and summer I took a couple flights that I wanted to offset the carbon of, so I thought I would create a video about it. So first of all, what is carbon offsetting? It's basically a way to compensate for your negative carbon impact by investing in projects that have a positive impact. A lot of carbon offset programs invest in things like renewable energy, energy efficiency projects, and forestry projects. The idea is that for every ton of CO2 you produce, you invest in a project that reduces a ton of CO2. Now there are some critics of carbon offsetting who basically say that it gives people an excuse to pollute as much as they want. But I think that with any kind of environmental change, we can't expect people to drastically change their lifestyles because people aren't going to get behind that. So for example, I think it's much easier to encourage somebody to carbon offset their flights instead of telling them to not travel at all. Of course, we should all be working to reduce our impact, but I think in a world where we rely on planes and cars and other kinds of polluting transportation, it's really good to have things like carbon offsetting. Now, it is really important to research the kind of carbon offset program you want to use because some are definitely better than others and they invest in different kinds of projects, so you want to find ones that are a good fit for you. I'll include a link below to some different carbon offset providers, as well as some that seem to be really well regarded. So after you've found a carbon offset program you like, the next step is to calculate your CO2. Now some carbon offset programs will have a built-in calculator that you can just use, but if they don't, Climate Care has a good calculator where you can look at your flights or all kinds of other emissions. So to offset my flights, I decided to go with a company called Atmosphere. They're a German company and they do projects around energy efficiency, renewable energy, and educational programs. So I'm using their built-in calculator to calculate the flight my husband and I took this spring to Milan, as well as the flight I took to Milan again in July. Now I unfortunately don't know our kind of aircraft, but I did learn that some aircrafts are actually a lot better than others, and I'll also include in the links a page I found about greener airlines, as well as which airplanes are more energy efficient. You can also offset things like cruise travel or driving. We don't drive, we bike or walk or take public transit, but you can also calculate your commuting emissions. So to offset basically 3 flights came to 30 euros, and different offset programs have different pricing, but I think it's really about finding a program that you think is doing good work. And that's it, it's really easy. Obviously flying isn't the best for the environment, but I think if you are gonna fly, you should at least carbon offset it and just calculate the offset into your travel budget. So I hope you enjoyed this video, thank you for watching, and thank you so much to those of you supporting me on Patreon, and I'll see you in the next one.